Hey everybody, Jake here. Hope everyone's doing well today. Buckeye Nation, stand up, baby. We're going back to the national championship and what was an absolute thriller between the Texas Longhorns and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes win this one 28-14. Let's jump into this. What a game. These are the type of games that take years off your life. I knew it wasn't going to be like it was in the Oregon game and the Tennessee game. I knew it wasn't going to be like that. It just regression to the mean. Texas is a good team. You're not going to win every game the way the Buckeyes have been winning these playoff games. I'm still shaking from the game. I can't believe what I just watched. You just know that you're not going to win the games like the Buckeyes have won the last two against Tennessee and against Oregon. But oh, what a game! What a game! What a game! Um, where do I even start? Let's go ahead and jump into what happened in this game. Texas comes out, don't do much with their first possession, and then the Buckeyes get the ball, and then you see the touchdown early on by the Buckeyes. They drove down the field. I had some questions early on watching the way that the Buckeyes drove on that Texas defensive line and the way the offensive line for Ohio State looked at the beginning of the game. I'm like, well, here we go again. Maybe Ohio State is just a buzzsaw, and no one's going to be able to touch them. But we see that Texas did end up tightening up a little bit. They kept the game close. It was closely contested all first half. It was very frustrating because you saw Ohio State had this great drive to start the game. Texas then gets the ball back, not really doing anything. It felt like Ohio State was the much better team most of this game, and especially in the first half, you definitely felt like Ohio State was the better team. But then it's just the costly turnovers. Ohio State had 9 penalties in this game. You haven't seen that at all and through this playoff run so far. Ohio State just hasn't been heavily penalized. With the makeshift offensive line, with these guys moving around like this, and the injuries, you haven't seen very many holding calls. You haven't seen any of the pre-snap stuff. This was the game that you kind of saw that, and like I said earlier, kind of the regression to the mean, what you could have expected early on with this Ohio State offensive line. They have nine penalties in all today. Through the whole game, 9 penalties, and you felt it in the first half. Ohio State was driving again. They could have went up 14-0 on Texas to begin the game. Travion Henderson gets that very out of character penalty where he hits the interior defensive line for the Texas. Makes you wonder what he said. Very weird penalty. You don't see that out of Travion much. So very weird there, but it's just these costly penalties. The pre-snap stuff. You see the false starts. We're turning 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9. Very frustrating stuff that you saw from the Buckeyes. And it's like you guys are just not playing to your potential. We've seen it the last 2 games that you're capable of, and you're just kind of letting Texas hang around here. And I will give Texas credit defensively. They were much better than I gave them credit for. Their secondary did a great job shutting down Jeremiah Smith. You didn't see anything of Jeremiah Smith in this game. He had 3 targets, 1 reception for like 2 or 3 yards in this one. It wasn't a big game for Jeremiah Smith, but they did a great job with the corner, and then they brought the safety over to bracket him off. They did an excellent job, Texas did. So you have to give them their flowers defensively. So you see Ohio State is kind of letting Texas hang around in this game. They 7-0 Ohio State, and they just kind of leave them around there, and then Quinn Ewers catches a rhythm. This Texas offense starts to get going, and then they drive down the field. Very end of the first half, they did a great job clock management. I mean, you can't ask Texas to do much more than they did on this one. And then they get the running back out of the backfield, lined up on the linebacker. Great job by Texas. They go and they score a touchdown. But then these are just the plays that you remember. These are the championship plays. You see Travion Henderson has the very out of character penalty to end the half. Chip Kelly, I mean, what a play call. The screen, they sell the screen so well. Will Howard backs up, drops it down to Travion Henderson for a 75-yard touchdown with 29 seconds left in the half. Inexcusable on Texas's part, but excellent play call, excellent selling of it by Will Howard, and just Travion Henderson, when he gets into space, you just can't stop this guy. So Ohio State goes up 14-7 to close out the first half. They come out and they get the ball in the third quarter to start the game off, and then you're feeling like, okay, Ohio State makes some adjustments. They've been pretty good about making it. They haven't had to make very many adjustments, but they've been good coming out of the half in both games against Tennessee and against Oregon. And they come out and they're not very sharp. They get a drive going, and this is one of the plays that I remember that it's like, okay, these are the things that you can't have happen. And these are the things with Will Howard. It's like you're driving down in the first possession of the third quarter, and he throws a costly interception. And you know what he's thinking? He's got to get the ball to Jeremiah Smith. He probably feels like he needs to get the ball to. He's obligated to get the ball to him because he hasn't got the ball much. But you got to just give that to Texas that they're doing a good job on that. And he sees man coverage on the left side. The secondary sells it well. Linebacker goes up, gets a pick off Will Howard. It's just one of those frustrating things where you're like, Ohio State, this is just out of character for you guys. Will Howard throws the pick. Texas then goes down. They score. I don't know that they score on that drive, but they do go down and score at the end of the third quarter, with like 3 minutes left or so. Texas then goes and scores at the very end of the third quarter, and this is where it felt like the momentum shift was happening. This is where the adversity sets in. That Ohio State hasn't had very much adversity through this entire playoff run. So this is where shoulders get heavy, palms get sweaty, butt cheeks clenching time. This is what makes men right here. And Ohio State absolutely delivered in the fourth quarter. 13 plays, I think it was 88 yards. They drove down the field, and Woody Hayes was just pumping his fist from the heavens because Ohio State had a grown man drive to drive all the way down the field, score. Quinshon Judkins punched it in at the very end. Just needed a defensive stop. I think Texas got the ball back, I want to say with like 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left in the third quarter, or in the fourth quarter here. And then you just see the gashes. Marcus Golden comes in, gets a big catch. They're just gashing Ohio State. Gunnar Helm gets that 25-yard catch. Then he points at Caleb Downs. That didn't look good because he kind of shut it down on the goal line. But Gunnar Helm then gets the catch. They go down. Texas gets the 2 pass interferences, which were felt annoying. It's just out of character stuff again. This is the stuff Ohio State hasn't done this entire playoff run, and here they go. Whatever. They get them down to the 1, but then this is where Ohio State has done it. They did it against Notre Dame last year. They just have these stands at the goal line. They did it against Penn State this year, where teams get all the way down to the inside the 5-yard line and just can't punch it in on this Buckeyes defensive line. And I mean, give credit to Tyleik Williams, Jack Sawyer, JTT. These guys have just done so well. Cody Simon inside the 5-yard line here. That's when Oregon gets kind of cute. They do that outside of the running back there. Can't get anything going. Caleb Downs blows up the play. He was the first one in the backfield, blows up the play, and then it gets Texas back to the 8-yard line or so, and then from there they just couldn't get anything going. Jack Sawyer, I mean, let's talk about it, has the play of his life, the play of his career so far at Ohio State. The strip sack, Quinn Ewers takes it all the way back, 92 yards, touchdown, seals the game. These are moments that you will forever be remembered by. These are the things with Jack Sawyer. He's a great player, and we know he's a great player, and it's felt like all his Ohio State career, it's where is this version of Jack Sawyer? And this year is when you're really seeing it. This playoff run, I hate to even bring it up because I hate to say their name in videos like this whenever we're having such a good time. But the team up north game, it just felt like changed everything for this Buckeyes team. Jack Sawyer's playing with a level of intensity that I've never seen out of Jack Sawyer since he got here. What a play by Jack Sawyer. Takes it all the way down. They score, seal the game. That was essentially it. Then Texas comes out and they throw the pick to Caleb Downs. Have an interception, but it is what it is. It's the very end of the game. Just what a game. What a game for the Buckeyes. This is so important for them too, because you face adversity for the first time. This is the first time you really had to put the heels into the dirt and claw out of this one. And it just shows that the Buckeyes are a championship level team. They're ready for this moment, and I couldn't be happier for them. So Buckeye Nation, I mean, what more can you ask for on a night like this? Just awesome. Just awesome. Jump into just some stats I wanted to talk about, because I had said in my preview prediction that you shut down Texas's run game. They don't win games if they can't run the ball. They did it against Georgia both times, couldn't run the ball. This game had 58 rushing yards. Ohio State shut down the run most of the game. I will give Quinn Ewers credit because he did get the ball out to his playmakers better than I thought he would have. I kind of underestimated a lot of Texas coming into this game. The offensive line didn't impress me in this game, which that was the one bright spot that I talked about in my preview. As I went on about how good Texas' offensive line was, and they really didn't show it in this game. Quinn Ewers was under duress most of the game in this one. 341 total yards for them. It was mostly the passing attack for Texas, but again, they were kind of behind a little bit in this one, so maybe that makes sense. So neither team was really good on third down either. Ohio State 3 for 10 on third down in this one, and Texas 5 for 15. This was really just an ugly game, a muck it up game. Didn't have to be perfect. It wasn't perfect. It never will be perfect. Kevin Stefanski says all the time. It wasn't perfect, but Ohio State, it didn't need to be perfect for them. They get the job done. They beat the Texas Longhorns 28-14 in Texas. What a game. I'm listening to the post game, and you just can't help but feel so happy for the seniors that returned on this Buckeyes team. Denzel Burke, Cody Simon, JTT, Jack Sawyer, Emeka. These guys that came back when they can go to the NFL, and they come back to because they feel like they haven't lived up to what they should have at Ohio State. This moment, I hope that they take it all in, and I hope that they know how proud we are as fans of them that we're in the position that we are right now. You can't help but feel so happy for these guys to come back and live up to this and go play for a national championship. It's just so exciting, and you just got to feel so happy for these guys. But Buckeyes move on now. We play Notre Dame in the national championship here. I'm not sure when the date is on that game. It should be probably about 2 weeks, I'd imagine. I imagine they give them a week, and then they go the following. I don't know what day they'll have it on. I'll have to get the date for you guys, but I'll have a preview and prediction out on Ohio State, Notre Dame, and the national championship. But that's what I'm thinking in this one. What a great feeling it is to be a Buckeye fan right now. So go ahead, let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Go Bucks!